You know, it doesn't matter whether you're on the job, whether you're in a church, whether you're in a family or friends, online. Doesn't matter. But once people cross one boundary or certain boundaries, it's like, okay, I'm done. You might be cordial to them, you might be polite to them, but you don't trust them anymore. You don't put any confidence in them anymore. A lot of times I speak hard truth just to get rid of the fluff, get rid of the fakers. I got a video now I'm debating whether to upload because I talk about how God speaks through the man and it's God's will, and the woman, if she marries a man, she should do his will, not her own will. And it's clearly taught in 1 Corinthians 7, but I talk about that in a video in detail, but I don't know if I'll upload it. I should. I'll probably upload it, because if you can't handle the truth, I don't want to be around you. Very few people can handle the truth, And then they'll say something like, "Well, what if I'm married to an unsaved?" Why'd you marry unsaved? Pray that they get saved. But I talk about how churches divide the home, and the pastor tries to come. Sometimes the woman will go to the pastor and submit to him before her husband, or she'll submit to her daddy or her mama when she's already been married. It's really sad. It's so rampant, and it's not like it happens every once in a while. It's like 95% of the time. But anyway, back to what I was saying, when people break confidence, or they can make one comment or ask one question that you would never ask anybody. It's none of their business. You would never cross certain boundaries asking certain questions, but they cross boundaries and ask these questions all the time. And they would if you asked them, they would not answer. They'd say, "Why are you asking me that? It's none of your business." But they feel privileged enough to ask you. And as soon as they do something, there's certain questions or comments that can just destroy a friendship or whatever, a relationship of some kind. Anybody else experience that? You just see the red flag. You're like, what? Where'd that come from? That came out of left field, but evidently it never came out of left field because it was there the whole time. The motive was there the whole time. The fake personality was there the whole time. It was fake reality. Fake reality. But that's okay. And it's you try to put you put trust in a relationship, friendship, whatever, or whatever, and you put some trust in there, and then these comments are made, and then you say, "Wait a minute, red flag, red flag, red flag," and then you step back and you say, "I don't think so." And what happens usually is God will have another situation that happened in your life before. Even when you're a child, you can see it happen to your parents or your friends or somebody's friends' parents. You can see the same thing that already happened, because God's not going to leave you out there without some protection and that's what I was saying about that one video I uploaded. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to see the scorner, see the Jezebel, see the Delilah, see the narcissist. It's okay to see the evil man, the evil woman, the evil person. It's okay to see that. Not that you're judging, but God is using that to protect you. Because when they slip, and they always do, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. When they slip, and they always will, it's such a big red flag. It's like, wow, you had that in your heart the whole time. You hid that for years, 2 years, 3 years. Wow. Shazam. Shazam! Or whatever the explicative is for that. You had that hit in your heart the whole time and it finally slipped out. Well, I'll be. You might even see it in a parent or a sibling or even a child. If I don't trust anybody, I won't be around them. Period. I won't even waste my time. If I don't like anybody, I won't be around them. If I spend my time texting or talking to somebody, it's because I like them as a person. Otherwise, I don't have time for it. My time's limited anyway. Why would you spend time with people you don't like? I don't get that. Why would you spend time with people you don't resonate with? Why would you spend time with somebody you hate? That's what the world does, because they have the mindset, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch you. You see the women go to the bathroom together, and they actually were just talking about each other behind each other's back, and you're like, what in the world is that about? Why would you go to the bathroom at the same time when you don't even like each other? Why would you go to a family reunion when half the people on there in the they don't even know you, and they don't like you, and you don't like them, and you don't know them? Why would you do that? It just doesn't add up to me. I just can't comprehend it. Why would you go to church that's preaching a false gospel or legalism? I don't get it. I could understand if you had a friend or somebody you talked to for a long time, but then as you grow and as you develop and you see through and you start to see patterns that were not, sometimes, like I say, you have to get away from it to see it. But sometimes as you see patterns develop that's contrary to your spiritual health, your mental health, your emotional health, whatever, you step away. Little by little. Sometimes you have to do it in increments, you know. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist or a coach. I'm not a relationship coach, but sometimes you have to do stuff incrementally. I just do it cold turkey. Everything I do, if I make a decision, I just do it cold turkey. I don't care what it is. I don't do increments. I can do cold turkey. If I was addicted to smoking and then I woke up to smoking that was killing me, and somebody says, hey, look at the back of this, they put these chemicals in, I just quit cold turkey. Sugar, same way. Cigarettes, marijuana, drinking, drugs. If I was on drugs for some reason, and they said, well, this drug is going to kill you and give you this and do this to you, and I'd say, okay, I quit. I just quit. I quit. It's harder when you're dealing with a narcissist or a Jezebel, because I've dealt with enough in my lifetime. You go into they pull you in, they mirror what you are, and they get pulled in, and you're thinking, oh, this woman's really got it together. She's a marriage material. Let me go ahead and then you backslide and you get in, and then you start to see through this thing. Even though you're backslid, usually when you backslide, you're blinded by certain things. But God always sends a messenger to wake you up out of the Jezebel game. And so it doesn't take long. And as soon as you realize what you got stepped into, then you just go cold turkey and you say, I'm done. About a year or two, about a year ago, I saw this lady come by the job that she didn't know I worked there, and I dated her like 30 years ago, and she was a Jezebel to the hilt, and I was a lot younger, and I didn't even know what it was really to deal with somebody like that, and so she knew it was me. I haven't really changed, but she changed. She looked different, and I could tell it was her though. And say nothing. I didn't say nothing because why would I? It doesn't matter. If a person was really coming to talk to you who really got saved, got born again, was repentant, asked for forgiveness, they would come to you and say, hey, I'm sorry that I lied and I did this and I'm sorry. But if you see them at the mall or something, and why waste your time? Their character hasn't changed. 99.999% their character hasn't changed but got worse. And why would you waste your time trying to even talk to them? Waste of time. You're not the same person you were. They don't know you. They never knew you, to be honest. If you're spiritual and they're not, they never knew you. Online. Explain this one to me. Why would somebody attack you and say, you're a Carl Jung follower, and then come back years later and still subscribe and listen to what you have to say? Why would they do that? Instead of apologizing, why would they subscribe and just sit there back there listening? Hello? Why come back? If you don't agree with the archetypes, which I don't know Carl Jung, I don't know his teachings, but I know there's a such thing as archetypes because God revealed it to me through the etymology. And so the archetypes are right here in front of you. What's the archetype of that telephone pole? It's upright and it's got a cross member. So there's another one, there's another one, there's another one. What's the archetype of this dash? It's a dash, it's a dash, it's a dash. What's the archetype of these buildings? They look a certain way. What's the archetype of these trees? It's just a type. It's an overarching type. What's the archetype of a tree in general? It comes out of the ground and it has leaves. This is not complicated. The only reason somebody would get mad at something like that is because they're in a denominational box and they just repeat like a parrot what somebody else told them. Let me ask you this. What's the archetype of a cone? A cone to direct traffic. It doesn't have to be exact like it. It looks like a triangle from every side. It's got rubber on it. It's got a certain weight so the wind doesn't blow it over, but it can be moved. It don't have to look just like that cone, but there's an archetype that you know it's a cone. Even though it is shaped different, it's still a cone. Why does that swimming pool arena have the shape of a wave as its roof? Because it's an archetype of the waves that's inside that pool area. That's not Carl Jung. That's just types and shadows. The Bible talks about types and shadows. There's overarching types in everything. What's the archetype of a car? It's got 4 wheels. It's got an engine, some kind of engine. It's got some doors. It's got some seats. It's got a steering wheel. It's an overarching type. Archetype. That's not Carl Jung, stupid. Why would you, because you're ignorant, why would you attack somebody because instead of just asking them because you think you're smarter than everybody else? That's why. Because you're in a legalistic denomination who has no love. They only look for what else other people are saying wrong. They don't look for what people are saying right. They look for what people are saying wrong. They attack me. For many years, I talked to this woman who could see the code. And they would say, why are you talking to her? Why are you talking to her? Why are you talking to her? Because she's got some truth y'all don't have. Well, she's this. How do you know? I don't know that until I really come to a conclusion. I did have a few people say, why are you talking to her? And then I'd say, well, because she's, number one, I want to make sure she's saved. I want to get her saved. Number two, we have fun talking. And it's not necessarily fun, but it was like discovering truth. We had fun discovering the truth. We had fun discovering code. We had fun seeing past this thing. I don't talk to her anymore, but I'm pretty sure she got saved, or she realized that she she got awakened about who was the dark side versus who was the light. I'm pretty sure, because it's hard. It's hard in this world. There's so many Decepticons out there. It's hard. But not only did I grow, she grew. We both grew, and we both learned. And I'm not going to lose my salvation even if I was talking to a witch, which I doubt it. But even if it was a witch that I was talking to, I'm not going to lose my salvation. I'm going to take the dark side and invert it back to the positive. And let's say I go over there and stick my hand over there just to see what they're saying. I want to learn what they're saying, because I want to take the Bible and refute it and break it and get these people saved. If these people are teaching Illuminati, New Age, Gnosticism, what's the other one? Where they gematria, the numbers. If these people are teaching gematria and Gnosticism and New Age, why wouldn't I go over there and debate with them and talk to them and try to yank them out of it? Why wouldn't I do that? I thought we were here to win souls. If God convicted me and convinced me that this person he wants me to talk to and try to get them saved or try to bring them back, to restore them, I didn't have to go travel to see them. All I do is email somebody. All I do is email. And okay, let's say there was a witch online who's trying to talk to me and try to pull me to the dark side. I'm in the light. It's faith alone and Jesus alone. I'll never deny that. It's Christ alone. They can cut my head off if they want to. So why would I be afraid of a witch who's trying to teach me stuff that's contrary, when I would just say, well, wait a minute, what you're saying doesn't line up with Scripture? And then they say, well, why? Then they would attack the Scripture. And then they'd use the book of Enoch. And I'd say, look, I'll stand on the Bible. The book of Enoch is a lie. The book of Enoch is a distraction. The 66 books of the Bible line up perfectly. Why would somebody outside seeing me make comments with somebody attack me, say, don't talk to that witch? I'm trying to get that witch saved. What are you talking about, man? I'm trying to get her saved. And half the ones that they thought were witches were not witches. They were just confused. But like a sister in Christ says, I asked her one time, I said, why do so many women go into palm reading and sorcery? And I asked her, saved woman. And I didn't know what I thought. I asked her, I said, why do you think so many women go into palm reading and all that stuff? She said, because they're women. I said, oh. A saved woman said that, not me. And then it all clicked. Because the same story that happened in Genesis 3 is happening today. The same story that's happening in Genesis 3 is happening today. The devil's always going to attack the weaker vessel. And so her covering, the man, if she has a good pastor, if her dad's saved, whatever, the woman usually, if she's saved, God gives her a covering of some kind. Now, there's a lot of women online that I've talked to who are saved, born again, spirit-filled, that know the Bible really, 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 probably some of them better than me. And they got it going on. But those kind of women usually are either by themselves or they found them a husband and they do their duty at the house, you know. Anyway, back to what I was originally going to talk about. It's sad how you can try to build a friendship or whatever, and then all of a sudden they say something, ask something, and it destroys that relationship like that. But if that happens, God is giving you that red flag. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to cry and be worried. You just, it might be a shock to your system. Get up. I mean, when David's child died, he got up, washed his face, said, I'll see that child in heaven, and let's keep going. But if somebody breaks your heart, whether it's a friendship, family, whatever, say, okay, it's over. Wash your face, get up, start a new life. Or continue the life that you're in. Don't let anything down here stifle what God has called you to do. Because put no trust in chariots, put no trust in inventions of man, but put your trust in God. If you have to start over, who cares? It's all from the ground anyway. There's a lot of people during COVID and all, if they lost their house, who cares? Just a piece of 2x4 and sheetrock, start over. But don't let anything or anybody make you live in some kind of past or depression. Just start over, focus on God, And don't be bitter, don't be mad. If they fooled you, they fooled you, You let them do it. I mean, usually when you get caught up with a narcissist because you wanted to believe the lie. You wanted to believe the lie, the fake reality. You wanted to believe the lie. You wanted to believe the lie. That's this whole battle. Do you believe that this whole battle from cradle to grave, from Genesis 3 all the way to Revelation 20, Revelation 18, Babylon's fallen. Babylon is falling. So from Genesis 3 to Revelation 18, the whole battle is, do you want to believe the truth or do you want to believe a lie? That's the battle. And it's not really outside, it's inside. They can only get you to give up your free will. They can't take your free will unless you just give it to them. You might be a slave in the 3D realm working for some dead corporation, but you can be free in the spirit realm and free in the inner man.